Hey, it's Emma from Game Watcher, and today we'll be taking a look at Warhammer 40k Eternal Crusade from developer Behaviour Interactive. The game is currently in its alpha stage and it's also on Steam Early Access, so it's actually available to play right now. If you haven't heard of it before, this game is a massive online third-person shooter set in a persistent world. Players are able to choose from 4 factions, which are the Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, Orcs and Eldar, and you engage in huge military campaigns. When launched, the game will include both a PvP and a PvE mode. However, no matter what mode you play, you'll have to work as a team with the other members of your faction. This game really depends on you working cooperatively with others. In addition, there are thousands of weapons and customizable combinations for you to choose from, along with veteran heroes and elites which you can earn and unlock as you progress. Fans have been waiting for this type of game for ages, and Behaviour have therefore created it as a tribute to those that have been waiting. Behaviour has also stated that they want the game to be true to the Warhammer universe, which is why the game is inspired by the Warhammer lore rather than the tabletop game. As I mentioned before, Eternal Crusade is still in the alpha stage, and it's very apparent when you boot up the game. The build that I tested was on the PS4, and unfortunately the game did not run well at all, as you can see. At points the frame rate was dropping below 10 FPS, which made it pretty much impossible to engage in any sort of combat. The game routinely crashed after a short period of time, which kept forcing me to start over, and as you can imagine, that becomes quite frustrating after a while. Throughout the preview I tried to persevere through the frame rate drops and flickering textures, but this greatly drained my experience as the day went on, which was a bit of a shame. Sandwiched between these unplayable periods and incredibly long loading screens, I had a few moments where I was actually able to wander through the vast worlds of Eternal Crusade. I played on the Space Marine side, and consequently had the chance to test out most of their chapters. From what I could tell, most of the Space Marines chapters played very similarly, with the main differences being their armour and weapons. You're able to set up 5 custom loadouts, including the Tactical, Devastator, Assault, Apothecary and Ground Assault presets, where you can choose your weapons, armour, trinkets, grenades and consumables, and more, before jumping into the game. As you progress, you will also receive advancement points, which can be spent on upgrades, although it's important to note that some of these advancements are limited to specific classes. There seems to have been quite a bit of confusion surrounding when Eternal Crusade is set to release. After speaking to some of the Behaviour team, I can confirm that the game is due to release in the next few months in summer 2016. However, this will not be the final version of the game. All updates and expansions for Eternal Crusade will be free, and will continue to build on the core game from summertime onwards. So even if the game doesn't include all of the features that you want right now, it appears as though Behaviour have it covered, and they're doing their best to include everything at some point. Overall, I feel as though I have to agree with many of the fans on the Eternal Crusade subreddit and other forums. The game just isn't ready yet. Well, on the PS4 anyway. I can't really speak for the PC version as I didn't have the opportunity to test it out. It's clear that Behaviour are deeply invested in creating a massive shooter built strictly on the Warhammer lore. However, I would not feel comfortable throwing down the full asking price for this game right now. From what I've seen of the game so far, it looks as though it has a long way to go before it achieves all of the promises that Behaviour has been making. Of course, it's important to note how fast Behaviour are moving with this game, and it's great to see the progress that they've made so far, but it does not feel complete enough to make me want to spend more time playing it. Nonetheless, it may be a lot easier for die-hard fans that have been waiting years for it to feel more passionate about the game, even at this early stage in development.